if you don't have any evidence that your partner might be cheating? I mean, no, you got nothing. But yet jealousy consumes your every thought. Now, my first guest says she feels like a prisoner in her own home because her husband's jealousy and even paranoia have taken over every aspect of her life. Now, let's hear from her husband first. This is Mike.
The biggest problem in our marriage is I don't trust my wife. Before we got married, she had told me she had been with 4 men. After we got married, she admitted to having sex with 7 men. I put a voice recorder under my wife's pillow the first time that I thought she had been unfaithful, and I've been trying to catch her ever since. I have the surveillance tape that I have outside the home. I was rewinding the surveillance tape and I noticed that she was making gestures. It was the 2 of us on the porch, and then somebody was in behind us, off camera's view, and it seemed like she was just trying to get his attention behind my back. I confronted her about it and she denied it and played it off like it was simple hand gestures. It's a nauseous feeling when you think someone's being unfaithful or not telling you the truth, and just very sickening. It's hard to love somebody you don't trust.
Well, let's hear from his wife, Paula, see what she has to say.
I feel that I have been mentally and emotionally abused for 5.5 years. My husband thinks that I've cheated on him. He just doesn't believe anything I have to say. He makes up crazy, unbelievable stories. I've been called whore, slut, bitch. His jealousy and paranoia has taken over him, and he has accused me of having sex with a neighbor. I have been secretly recorded at night. My husband also checks my mouth at night because I started whispering in my sleep, and he thinks I'm hiding something in my mouth. Sometimes he'll stick his fingers in there just to swab my mouth to see if I'm hiding something. There are times where he has checked my underwear. If I have any stains on it, he will question me about the stains. He has taken my clothes to get tested. My husband does have tracking devices on my car, so he knows where I am at all given times. If I'm taking a long time driving home, if there's extra traffic and I'm 5 minutes late, he will call me and ask me where I'm at. He checks my cell phone on a regular basis, goes through all my emails. I have done 2 polygraph tests. My husband thinks I've passed both lie detector tests. He thinks that I've performed sexual favors to both gentlemen. I am afraid of him more and more every day. I don't know how to help my husband. I don't know if anybody can. I don't know how to function some days. I hate him. Sometimes I wish he was dead. I know it's a bad thing to say. It would just be so much easier for me. You're my last hope.
Okay. Mike, tell me what your hope is for being here today.
Basically, I want to trust her. I've never really caught her in any lie. Well, I've caught her in small lies, but I don't have any concrete evidence that she has been unfaithful. And just the paranoia thought of her being unfaithful, me not being able to prove it, I want to be.
Was there anything in that tape that was not true?
About sleeping with both lie detector or polygraph examiners, that wasn't true.
You don't think she necessarily slept with them,
No.
but you think she manipulated them?
Yeah.
Sexual favors?
I might have mentioned that for the second one, yes, but I didn't really.
Listen, I'm not here to throw you under the bus or you either one, but I can't help you if we're not completely honest about what's going on here. If you, because I think you think that sometimes you're over the top with this.
Yes.
Are you out of control with your jealousy?
Sometimes I am, yeah, and it's not a comfortable feeling. I don't enjoy it, and yeah, I feel guilty treating her that way because I do love her, and
Do you think she's cheating on you?
I think she has in the past, yeah.
Since you've been married?
Yes.
Are you okay for her to speak openly and freely here today?
Yes, I am.
Did you tell her not to do that crying and sobbing thing that she does at the shoot yesterday? Did you tell her not to be pulling that stuff up here?
No, I just asked her to try not to get too emotional. When she gets emotional, I get emotional myself.
What did he tell you?
He doesn't like it when I cry because I think he knows that he really hurts me, and he sees the hurt that way, and he doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to see the hurt.
You put a recording device under her pillow.
Under my pillow, yes.
Under the pillow, so you could record if she what, talked in her sleep?
Or talked on the phone, yes.
Or if you were asleep and she got on the phone?
Yes.
Because you think she wouldn't get out of bed to do that? Because she might wake you up?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, no, I'm trying to understand. Seriously, you think she would...
I had actually left the house. I was out, so I had left it on, yes.
I see. So you'd leave it on when you were gone?
Yes.
So you could pick her if she was laying in bed talking to some guy?
Yes, sir.
What'd you find on that?
I didn't find anything conclusive. I thought I heard something, but I don't know. I can't make out what it was on the tape.
Okay. You put a tracking device on her car?
On my vehicle, yes.
When she drives?
Yes.
Did you find her going anywhere she
Never.
wasn't supposed to go? You check her underwear sometimes?
I had done that in the past. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't done that in quite some time.
What were you checking for in her mouth when you put your fingers in her mouth?
Because she puts her hands to her mouth while she's sleeping in her ear, and I thought maybe she had put something in her mouth, so I'd asked her to see.
What would it be?
I have no idea.
Because I've heard it all, but that's a new, I had not heard about what, would it be like a pill, you mean, or a...
I'm not sure if it's a listening device or something. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
A listening device?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I understand. That's why you were checking. If you were sure, you wouldn't be checking. Do you put anything in your mouth?
No,
Do you own any listening devices?
no.
You think she has cheated on you since you got married? Have you called her names? She said you've called her names.
Yeah, when we're arguing, I have called her names.
In anger?
Yes.
What have you called her?
I've called her liar, a slut, a bitch. She's very vocal with me as well. So.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Is that, but that's not really how you feel about her.
No.
Because if you really thought she was of bad morality and ill repute, you wouldn't be with her, right?
Absolutely not, no.
Are you keeping her a prisoner in her own home?
I try not to. She's allowed to go out wherever she likes. I never tell her she can't go out. I actually tell her to go out with girlfriends and go to the movies or the show, or I have a weird feeling that she's been unfaithful, and that's why.
Okay, but here's the question. Are you keeping your wife prisoner in her own home?
I'm not quite sure I understand what you're asking.
Are you the gatekeeper? Does she have to get your permission? Because it's like...
You can ask her. She doesn't have to give my permission to go out.
Do you feel like a prisoner?
Depends on the day that we're having. I pretty much just take the children and go wherever as long as I have the kids with me. I know
that's
I'm
your
okay.
safety zone?
That's my safety zone.
Are you afraid to say things in front of him for fear that he's going to retaliate against you later? We got to be honest here. I'm just asking.
No, I used to.
Because you
not
seem
anymore.
to really be waffling. When there are things that you've told us without equivocation, and I ask you about them now, and you go, well, kind of.
No, I'm very vocal now. I don't stand down. I speak whatever I want to say. I tell him how I feel.
Does he intimidate you?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'm scared. Sometimes I'm scared that his thoughts are going to take control. Brain is very powerful. Sometimes I'm frightened.
What do you think he might do?
Well, he said things that he would do if he ever caught me cheating on him.
Knows what?
He said he would skin me alive if he ever caught me cheating, if he ever found proof.
I said I would skin him alive, not you.
Well, we don't want to be skinning anyone.
No. I just get very frustrated, Dr.
We don't want to
Phil.
be talking about, and I know you say things in anger, but
I don't mean that.
It's a short step from thought to word and a short step from word to deed.
I understand.
And here's the thing. You're quite right. The brain is a very powerful thing. And if you became convinced that she had done something inappropriate, and you had rehearsed in your mind how you were going to react if that had happened, and you believed to the core of your soul that you had that proof and data, then you could behave in a really destructive way. And I don't want you playing that game in your head. I want you to stop doing that because I don't want anything bad to happen to either one of y'all.
Okay.
You hurt her or someone else, both of your lives can be destroyed. We don't want to play that game. You need to stop allowing yourself to go there in your thinking. I'm trying to help you here.
I understand.
He has called me an nymphomaniac in disguise. He just thinks I want sex from anybody. Mike has slept with 1,000 to 2,000 women. I am having sex with him every other day. Prior to that, it was pretty much almost every day.
Well, I'm here with Mike. He's 37. He is a jealous husband by his own description. He doesn't trust his wife, and he's told her, don't ever lie to me. Not to embarrass you here, but I mean, across time, how many men did you tell him that you had been intimate with?
I told him that I had been intimate with 4.
Okay, and in fact, it was a few more than that?
Yes.
Three more, 2, 3 more?
Yes.
Okay. But my point is, it was before you were married?
Yes.
Okay. Now, were you a virgin when you got married?
No, sir.
How many women had you had sex with?
I'm not really sure how many women.
Well, guess. I mean, give me a range. I don't know.
It's been in the hundreds.
Hundreds.
I believe so, yes.
So that's a lot. So that's kind of the pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yes, I guess so.
I mean, you were upset that she had a span where she was with a handful of men, and you say it's hundreds. How many would you say?
Oh, I would say about 1,000.
1,000 women?
I don't know. I wasn't there, so it's just what I hear.
Yeah. You gave me a surveillance tape to look at. And I had 2 reactions to that. At first, I was very troubled by it because that was you sitting on the porch with her, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Well, I misread the transmittal memo to me when I got this, and I thought that the person that you were suspect of was the person sitting on the porch with her.
Oh, no.
And so I'm reading your body language with this guy you're sitting on the porch with, and I'm thinking, yeah, she's flirting with him. I'm looking at her body language towards this person on the porch with her, and I say, you know, that's a little gamey. She's kind of flirting with this guy. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna call it as I see it. Then I'm talking to producer, they said, no, that's her husband on the porch. I said, oh, thank God. Because you were obviously you were happy to be with you. She was happy to be with you. Then I'm told at 2 minutes and 24 seconds into the tape that there are gestures that you take as her flipping you off and flirting behind your back with the neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Well, do you want to know what I think about that?
Yes, sir, please.
I think that there is no rational person that could conclude that she was behind your back flirting with the neighbor. 93% of all communication is nonverbal. 7% is what you say. 93% is your body language, your facial tones, voice intonation, spacing, body language. I am a student of this. I used to make my living doing this. I was a jury specialist that read juries and tried to predict what people were thinking, saying, and doing. It is my job. It is my work. There is no way this woman was flirting with your neighbor on the tape. Not even almost, sort of, kind of, maybe, no how, no way.
Okay.
In my opinion. What do you think about what I'm saying?
I only see it from my perspective, and I appreciate the fact that you looked at it and analyzed it. And
But you know what else I do? I spend at least half of my time hearing what isn't said. I read between the lines. I look for omissions. I look for nonverbals. And what you didn't say was, oh, thank God. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy to hear that you didn't see that. And I'm sorry that I suspected you of that. If I thought that my wife was flirting with somebody and someone credible knew what they were doing, and I thought that they were reliable and credible, and they told me didn't happen, wouldn't you be relieved? I mean, wouldn't you just be like, oh, that's a load off? But you were Well, okay, I got my point of view. Do you want to catch her cheating?
I think
Do you need to catch her cheating to prove yourself right?
I think sometimes I've been adamant in trying to catch her that I don't really realize what I'm doing. Like I just keep
Do you think
looking
I'm
for
telling you
more.
the truth?
I believe you are.
Your enthusiasm was underwhelming. No, seriously, do you think she's gotten to me?
No.
You think I'm covering for her in some way?
No, I do not.
But I'm telling you the truth as I see it. Okay, now, because you didn't get the results of the 2 polygraph before, and because you think she manipulated those polygraph operators, you actually made a request to us to repeat a polygraph, and you wanted a woman in the room.
Yes, she had actually said she would take the polygraph test, and I said that if somebody else was in the room with her, then that way I could believe the results, yes.
Right. We've done that, and I have the results right here. I haven't seen them, I haven't read these, but we have them right here.
The first lie detector test was performed in my home, and Mike was upstairs the whole entire time. The individual performing the lie detector test kept telling him not to listen to it because it would disrupt the whole lie detector results. The polygraph guy asked, "Have you ever been molested?" He claims that he heard him say, "You shouldn't have told me that."
I think he felt sorry for her a little bit, so then I had asked to see the results of the test, and he wouldn't show them to me. I paid him, and he wouldn't show me the results. Yeah, I am looking for some concrete evidence. I don't want to destroy my family for something that's not true.
I'm here with Mike and Paula. Mike wants concrete evidence on his wife. She is suspected of infidelity. It is hard to prove a negative. It's hard to prove you didn't do something. Now, Paula has offered to take not 1, but 2, now a 3rd lie detector test to prove she is very faithful to Mike and has not cheated on him. Now, in your defense, you didn't get direct results of the first 2 polygraphs.
No, I did not.
So you're a little bit in the dark there, but you told him that you passed.
Yes.
Now, on the first test, Mike says that she told the instructor that she had been raped, and the instructor, and I guess by that you mean the examiner, said, "Well, I wish you hadn't told me that," felt bad for you. So he wouldn't even show you the test results, right? Even though you're the one that was paying him.
Yes, sir.
And did that exchange take place?
I've never done a polygraph test. He was just asking me questions and I was answering.
But I mean, y'all did talk about that
Yes.
occurrence. And by the way, I don't want to blow by that. I'm very sorry. And I make no apology for you telling you. I'm very sorry that you've been violated.
Yeah.
I hate that for you, and I'm very sorry. Now, the second test, the polygrapher wouldn't show Mike the test results either. He only gave you a piece of paper that said 99.9% truthful.
Yes.
But you still didn't believe that.
Before the test, I had asked him if I get to see the charts, the graphs, and he had said yes.
Are you qualified to read?
No, sir, I'm not.
Well, let's get to this. You took a polygraph, and frankly, I said, look, I'll do it if I thought there was even a 1% chance that it might help the situation. But frankly, I think you're not responding to data. I think you're not responding to evidence. I think you're not responding to reality. I think this is coming from inside you. You're convincing yourself that this is true because you fear it so badly. Now, let me be very clear with you. Was this a fair test?
Yes.
You don't think you were set up in any way?
No.
Whatever. You live by these results.
Yes.
This is Jack Tremarco. He is a former polygraph unit chief for the FBI, and in my opinion, is the top polygraph operator on the globe. So, is there anything that you want to ask him?
No, sir.
Okay, now, he defined the terms for you. You knew exactly what you have no excuses.
No.
And we had an observer in the room.
We had an observer in the beginning.
Right.
And
Now,
then
during
I
this
asked her to
interview,
leave.
of course.
Because the protocol is that there will be no one else in the
Of
room.
course.
But I
in
did
the beginning,
videotape everything.
in the interview, when all this information she's giving, you had someone there observing.
In the beginning, yes.
Right. but you felt like it was fair.
Yes.
So whatever these results are, you're not going to come with some excuse, well, I didn't know what it meant.
No.
Okay. I have the results in the envelope. Question number 1. During your marriage, have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband? And you answered?
No.
And the test showed that that was non-deceptive. You told the truth, that during your marriage, you have never had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband. Question number 2. Since your wedding day, have you ever had sexual contact with anyone other than your husband? Your answer?
No.
The test showed that that was non-deceptive, that she told the truth to both of those questions, that since you've been married, she has never had even sexual contact with another person. Was this a close call?
This was probably the most definitive exam I've done for your show, Doctor. She was non-deceptive, going away.
Because in order to pass this, I say pass, I know you don't like to use that term, but in order to come out with a clear indication of truthfulness, she would have to, on this scale, score a 4.
+4 to the relevant questions, right.
+4 to the relevant questions. And +5 would be huge.
It's better.
+6 would be better.
And that's better.
7, 8 would be better. Where did she score?
I scored them +12.
+12. What'd you want to say?
I'm sorry, and I want to get some help just so I can learn how to trust you.
I feel numb sometimes. And I feel like I'm just on autopilot. And it's just go, go, go. And hope one day that something will change. Dr. Phil, it's so hard because people look at me and ask me, how do you stay? But it's like I'm looking at two different people. Split personality. There's one guy who's amazing and sensitive and caring and wonderful. And then there's this evil, controlling, obsessed trust issue that he has. It's so hard, I don't even understand it.
You want the one guy, but not the other.
No, I only want the one guy. I want the other one to go away.
It's driving you crazy. There comes a point where your intellect has to overcome your emotion. You got listening devices planted in your bedroom. You've heard nothing. You got a tracking device on the car. You have found nothing. You gave me a surveillance tape that showed not one thing even almost kind of even remotely close to subtle or otherwise flirtation. You've never found one piece of evidence. We have now brought you the top polygrapher to sit down with her with an observer to negate any potential manipulation. She didn't kind of pass. She didn't kind of squeak by. She knocked it out of the park. She knocked it out of the stadium. She knocked it over the parking lot. There is not one shred of evidence that this woman has been anything other than devoted to you. And the fact that she has put up with everything that you have heaped on her, unjustly accusing her, should speak volumes to you about who this woman is and how devoted to you she is.
I know that, and that's why after this show, I want to get help and start apologizing for everything I've done.
If I get you some help, will you seriously take it?
Yes, I will.
Because you have to understand, this voice in your head is going to come back and try to find holes in this. But the truth is, it would be a whole lot better drama if we caught her cheating, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Because then you could be saying, see, damn harlot. I mean, wow, how great would that be for drama? really anticlimactic when you find out that girl's a straight shooter and obviously loves you a lot.
Yeah. We need the help.
And you want to get your game together, or she won't cheat on you. She'll look you straight up in the eye and say, I'm not going to put up with this anymore.
I'm getting really close. I don't want to do this anymore.
She's looking for some relief.
I don't want to do this anymore.
You willing to get this help?
Yes.
Are you willing to give him a chance
I
to
am.
have the help?
I'm willing to stand by his side as long as he's willing and puts 110% effort. But yes, there's a lot of hate and anger right now. And it's a wound that's gonna take time to heal, and he's gotta understand that too.
Yeah, what she's telling you is you're the one who ran this off in the ditch. And you got a lot of cleaning up to do.
I know that.
But we'll work on it. Okay? All right, Tara checks her husband's cell phone, wallet, pants pockets, dog walking route, and just anywhere that he might be going. Now, Andrew says she drills down on him for hours at a time if he even mentions another woman in passing.
Where did he go today? What time was that? Hell yeah, I'm a jealous person. To make sure that Andy isn't cheating, I check his wallet, check his pants, check the car, check his cell phone. It's calling my name and I gotta pick it up and look at it and go through it.
When Tara makes these accusations, it's very, very frustrating.
When Andy brings up a woman in a conversation, I just get a panic feeling and then I'll Google her so I can find out whether she's a threat to me or not. When Andy is away from me, I can make up scenarios that he could possibly meet someone.
When I'm late from work, Tara will ask me, where are you at? What are you doing? Why are you late? It is a drill.
I was suspicious that he might be going to visit this girl that just moved into the neighborhood, and so I drove around looking for him.
I'm walking down the street and Tara pulls up in the car. What are you doing? Where are you going?
And I did find him. He was not at her house.
I am not doing anything to jeopardize my marriage.
Being a detective because of my jealousy is extremely exhausting. I'm wasting my life chasing something that's not even a reality. I'm afraid that our marriage will just get worse and turn into a big hot mess.
Andrew, you guys have been sitting in the audience listening to me talk to Mike and Paula. What'd you think about that conversation? Did you see yourself in him?
I don't think I'm that extreme,
Really?
as extreme as that.
So on a 1 to 10, if he was the 10, where would you put yourself?
Probably a 6.
So, Andy, where would you put her on that scale?
Is there a polygraph associated with this? It all depends. It could range from what she's saying, a 6. It could go 7. It could go 7.5.
Why do you put up with it?
Love her. I mean, it's a marriage. It's a
But you
commitment.
teach people how to treat you, and because, listen, have you ever heard that old saying, what I fear, I create? What's that mean to you? What I fear, I create.
That if I keep doing this, I'll eventually push him to do it.
Is there any other outcome? Let me tell you something about men. At some point, they're going to say, you know what? I'm getting credit for it. Hell, I might as well do it. I mean, there's a point at which that can transpire, and you can go, see, I was right all along.
Yeah.
You said she called you 6 to 8 times while you were inside a haunted house for 10 minutes with your son?
20, 25 minutes, but yeah.
What do you think he's going to do, a zombie or something? What do you...
No zombies in my life there.
Seriously?
Well,
He's in a haunted house with your son and you're tracking him?
yeah.
I'm asking because I'm trying to point out to you, sometimes when you hear it back to you, it seems like a good idea when you're thinking it and doing it, but when you hear somebody else say it, You see it on tape, sometimes you can go, wow, that's me. I need to ratchet this down.
Yeah.
Why do you think you do this?
I think I'm insecure. I think that, every day I hear from a friend of a friend that was cheated on, or you turn on the TV and you see it in the media, and it's almost what men do. And I think I just wonder why I'm the one that got lucky. What's so special about me that he won't cheat on me? The kids are aware of my jealousy. My stepsons say that I have a leash on their dad.
Tara got me a yellow shirt, and my son spouted out, "Yeah, you'll be able to see Dad all the way down the street. You can track him."
My daughter has said that you're acting crazy. He's not doing anything. I don't want my daughter to have the same kind of phobias or paranoia.
You clearly live in fear of being cheated on, right? Yeah. Because you've said, I don't want to look like a fool. And that really scares you, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm terrified of it.
Why does that scare you to be made to look like a fool?
Because it would make my life seem like it was a complete lie. Okay. Like everything that I thought to believe would be true would not be if he were to be cheating on me.
Okay, you're playing the what if game. That's a very anxiety-inducing sort of game, but it's okay to play what if as long as we play it out to the end. Okay, so what if he cheats on you?
Then my family will be broken apart.
Okay, then what?
And then I guess I'd have to carry on and try to get over it.
You're saying that if he cheated on you, it would be painful, it would hurt, but you would cope, get over it, and go on with your life? Seriously, what's so horrible about that? That you spend every day consumed with what I call anticipatory anxiety. You have more pain worrying about it than you would have if he did it.
Definitely.
Don't you?
Yes.
I mean, it's like he's cheated on you every day of your marriage because you have that fear every day of your marriage. If he did it, it would just be one day and it'd be over.
Yeah, I mean, it's miserable.
Okay, but,
trying to do this.
But do you understand what I'm saying? You just played the what if game. What if he cheats? Well, my whole life would be a lie. Actually, that's not true. That's just catastrophic language you like to say because it's dramatic. Your whole life wouldn't be a lie. You would still be you. Your kids would still be them. Your house would still be where it was. You would still have everything that you thought, except that he was with Susie Q instead of at the grocery store. Other than that, your whole life would not be a lie. But is it as catastrophic as you make it out to be?
No, when I'm sitting here, it's not.
Thank
but when I'm at home and in my own environment.
Well, but I'm having this conversation so you can have it again when you're at home, because what I'm telling you here is that you have choices to make. Because what's happening is you have this fear every day, and you check on him, and when you find him doing what he's supposed to be doing, it gives you relief for the moment. It's like a drug addict getting a fix. Anxiety, 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 he's at the store. And you feel good for a few minutes. But what if he doesn't come straight home? What if he goes by her house? What if he's talking to her on the way home? Well, who is she? I don't know, but it could be somebody. And so you go through this whole thing, and it builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up again. So he gets home, and he gets in the shower, and you get his cell phone, and you take it out, and you go, nope, nobody.
I know, and it's exhausting.
You're getting a fix every time, and you need to wean yourself off of it just like you would off of a drug. And it's probably going to take some help for you to do that, but I'm trying to give you a wake-up call. This is about you. It's not about Andrew. He didn't do anything. Does it make sense?
It does. It does.
I want to thank all of my guests today. I know it's hard to come on and talk about this, but you feel like we're headed in the right direction here?
Yes.
And do you, Paula?
Yes.
All right, good. And how about you, Tara?
Yeah.
Has this helped you so far?
Oh, yeah. The whole experience has been amazing. It really has.
What's helped you about this?
Just seeing myself on the screen doing those things, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And just the fact that he came on the show with me is proof enough that he loves me and he's in this for the long haul, and I need to quit worrying.
Yeah, but there's a lot you got to do about it. Your brain can get trapped in here, but the boy came to the Dr. Phil show.
I know.
This ought to be a really good night. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.